Topic 1. Garcia's Green Destruction Rampage. January 2019, Saudi International. Sergio Garcia just committed golf's most shocking act of vandalism. After missing putts on multiple holes, Garcia systematically destroyed putting surfaces with his golf shoes, gouging deep marks that would ruin the greens for every player behind him. This wasn't accidental damage from frustration. This was calculated destruction. Garcia dragged his feet across 5 different greens, leaving scars that required immediate repair work. European Tour officials were stunned. Chief referee John Paramore, with 30 years of experience, had never witnessed such deliberate course vandalism by a tour professional. The punishment was swift and historic. Garcia received the first misconduct disqualification on the European Tour in decades. The fine was substantial, but the reputation damage was permanent. Garcia later claimed mental health struggles, but destroying the playing surface crosses every line of professional conduct. Topic 2. Mickelsons' calculated rule-breaking. June 2018. US Open at Shinnecock Hills. Phil Mickelson was about to commit the most premeditated rule violation in major championship history. Standing over a 15-foot putt on the 13th hole, Phil watched his ball roll past the hole and down a severe slope. Instead of accepting the consequences like every other professional golfer, Phil made a shocking decision. He chased his moving ball and deliberately struck it while it was still rolling, preventing it from reaching the bottom of the slope. The gallery gasped in disbelief. This wasn't a mistake. Phil later bragged about the calculation. "I knew exactly what I was doing. 2-stroke penalty versus a much worse score." Rules officials debated disqualification for 45 minutes. The rulebook clearly states that deliberately hitting a moving ball should result in tournament removal. But Phil's celebrity status provided protection. He received only a penalty, avoiding the disqualification any lesser player would have faced. Topic 3. The toxic social media war. 2019 to 2021. Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau turned professional golf into a toxic social media battlefield that embarrassed the entire sport. The breaking point came when leaked footage showed Brooks's genuine disgust at Bryson's presence. Mid-interview, Brooks couldn't continue speaking when Bryson walked behind him. "I lost my train of thought hearing that bullshit," Brooks muttered, his contempt impossible to hide. Brooks then weaponized fan interactions, rewarding people who heckled Bryson with personalized videos and beer deliveries. When Bryson had fans ejected for Brooksy chants, Brooks celebrated their removal publicly. The most juvenile moment came when Brooks posted a video hitting golf balls at a Bryson cardboard cutout, treating his fellow professional like a carnival target. The PGA Tour was forced to intervene with private meetings, essentially ordering both players to stop their public warfare. If you're loving this video, subscribe now and help us hit 10,000 golf fans by month's end. Topic 4. The cheating accusation explosion. September 1991. Ryder Cup at Kiowa Island. Seve Ballesteros was about to make the most explosive cheating accusation in golf history. During foursomes play against Paul Azinger and Chip Beck, Seve noticed the Americans switching golf balls between shots. A clear rule violation since partners must use the same ball throughout each hole. Instead of quietly reporting to officials, Seve confronted Azinger directly on live television. "You are changing balls. This is not permitted." Azinger vehemently denied the accusation, leading to a heated argument that stopped play entirely. Officials were summoned to mediate the very public dispute. The confrontation poisoned the match atmosphere. Both sides engaged in petty gamesmanship, coughing during swings, excessive delays, and psychological warfare. European captain Bernard Gallacher called it the ugliest behavior in Ryder Cup history. Topic 5. The handshake snub heard worldwide. May 2008 Zurich Classic final round. Bubba Watson and Steve Elkington's pairing was about to produce one of golf's most disrespectful moments. Tensions exploded when a hot microphone caught Bubba's unfiltered opinion. "Steve can kiss my ass," broadcast live to a national audience. But Bubba's most shocking act came after finishing the 18th hole. During the traditional post-round handshakes, Bubba deliberately ignored Elkington completely. He walked past his playing partner without acknowledgement, eye contact, or basic professional courtesy. The snub was so obvious that cameras zoomed in to capture Elkington's bewildered reaction. The handshake after a round is considered sacred in golf culture, regardless of personal conflicts. Bubba's breach of this fundamental etiquette appalled fellow professionals. His later apology felt hollow after such a public display of disrespect. Topic 6. The ultimate trash talk backfire. March 2006, WGC match play. Stephen Ames made the catastrophic mistake of publicly questioning Tiger Woods before their match. Anything can happen, especially considering where Tiger's hitting the ball lately, Ames said, implying Tiger was vulnerable. Tiger's response was the most dominant performance in match play history. From the opening shot, Tiger played with controlled fury that bordered on frightening. The match ended 9-8. Tiger was 9 holes ahead with only 8 remaining. Complete humiliation on golf's biggest stage. Tiger's most devastating moment came during the post-match handshake. He delivered a handshake so cold and mechanical it seemed designed to freeze Ames's soul. No smile, no eye contact, just a robotic contempt for someone who dared question his abilities. The message was clear: never provoke Tiger when cameras are rolling. If you're loving this video, subscribe now and help us hit 10,000 golf fans by month's end. Topic 7. The Great Disappearing Act. November 2011, Australian Open. John Daly was about to execute the most bizarre exit in professional golf history. After a penalty on the 10th hole, Daly reached the 11th where water seemed to magnetically attract his golf balls. 6, 7, possibly 8 balls disappeared into the hazard. Instead of grinding through like every other professional, Daly made an unprecedented decision. He turned to his playing partners. "I'm done. I'm off." Without filing paperwork, speaking to officials, or informing the gallery, Daly simply vanished mid-round. His social media explanation was characteristically flippant. "When you run out of balls, you run out of balls." Tournament director Mike Clayton was furious. Completely unprofessional and disrespectful to players, sponsors, and paying fans. Daly's disappearing act became legendary for all the wrong reasons. Topic 8. The Team Betrayal Masterclass. September 2018. Ryder Cup in Paris. Hours after America's crushing defeat, Patrick Reed threw his entire team under the bus in golf's most selfish post-tournament interview. While teammates maintained dignified silence, Reed chose public warfare. He criticized Captain Jim Furyk's decisions, claimed he was blindsided by pairings, and suggested the team used a buddy system prioritizing friendships over winning. Most damaging was Reed's implication that Jordan Spieth didn't want to play with him, creating a narrative of locker room dysfunction. Fellow Americans were reportedly furious but maintained public silence. Reed's betrayal violated team sports' fundamental principle: win together, lose together. The incident destroyed relationships that took years to build and became a cautionary tale about individual ego-destroying team unity. Topic 9. The Concession That Wasn't. September 2015, Solheim Cup in Germany. Suzanne Pettersen was about to create one of Team Golf's most controversial moments. American Allison Lee faced a short putt to have the 17th hole. Assuming it was conceded, she picked up her ball and started walking away. Pettersen immediately objected, claiming no concession was given. Under the rules, Lee's action meant America lost the hole automatically. The reaction was explosive. Captain Julie Inkster looked ready to explode. Lee broke down in tears. Players on both sides were visibly upset. Technically, Pettersen was within her rights. But the Solheim Cup had always emphasized sportsmanship over technicalities. The controversy overshadowed the entire competition. Pettersen eventually apologized after worldwide criticism, but the damage was done. Topic 10. The Celebration Police. September 2024, President's Cup at Royal Montreal. Tom Kim's excessive celebrations created a diplomatic incident requiring team intervention. After draining a 35-foot birdie on the 7th hole, Kim's celebration was completely over the top. Screaming, fist-pumping, chest-thumping, like he'd won a major championship. Scottie Scheffler was clearly annoyed, responding with his own long putt and pointed comment. What was that about? Kim didn't learn. On the next hole, he repeated his excessive routine after another birdie, ignoring the uncomfortable atmosphere. The final straw came when Kim and his partner walked to the next tee without waiting for Scheffler to complete his putt. A serious breach of match play etiquette. U.S. Assistant Captain Kevin Kistner confronted the international team, calling it Bush League behavior. If you're loving this video, subscribe now and help us hit 10,000 golf fans by month's end. Topic 11. The Ball Mystery That Never Ended. December 2005, Indonesian Open. Colin Montgomery was about to create one of golf's most suspicious incidents. During the second round, Monty's ball landed in a waterlogged lie near a bunker on the 14th hole. When play was suspended for weather, he marked his ball and left like other players. The next morning, the ball was gone. Instead of calling an official, Montgomery simply replaced it. But not in the original terrible lie. He dropped it in a much cleaner, drier spot. Later, a photograph surfaced showing the original lie was significantly worse than where Monty played from. Golf Monthly called him out. Video footage raised eyebrows. Fellow pros whispered. Montgomery said nothing. No explanation, no defense, just silence. Eventually, he donated his tournament winnings to charity. An unspoken admission that the drop wasn't innocent. Topic 12. The playing partner, abandonment. August 2005, Booz Allen Classic. Rory Sabatini was about to commit one of golf's most disrespectful acts against a fellow competitor. Paired with notoriously slow player Ben Crane, Sabatini's patience evaporated as Crane took forever on every shot. On the 17th green after holing his putt, Sabatini did something unprecedented. Without waiting for Crane, without a word or glance, he picked up his bag and stormed to the 18th tee. He left Crane standing alone on the green, still mid-hole, with cameras rolling and gallery watching. It wasn't subtle protest. It was deliberate public humiliation of a fellow professional on national television. The backlash was immediate. Critics called it petty and unprofessional. Sabatini eventually apologized, but the moment stuck with him for years. Slow play is annoying, but abandoning your playing partner crosses every line of professional courtesy. Topic 13. The disgusting cup contamination. March 2007. WGC Championship at Doral. The same Sergio Garcia who would later destroy greens had already established himself as golf's most revolting competitor. After missing a crucial putt during the third round, Garcia's reaction shocked the golf world. He leaned over the hole and deliberately spit directly into the cup, contaminating the hole that dozens of other professionals still had to use. Television cameras captured everything in disgusting detail. Commentators fell silent, unsure how to process such fundamental disrespect for the game and fellow competitors. Tournament officials had to sanitize the hole before play could continue, delaying the entire field because of one player's revolting behavior. The incident became golf's most infamous display of poor sportsmanship, replayed endlessly as the perfect example of what never to do on a professional golf course. Garcia's apology came hours later, but the damage was irreversible. Topic 14. The USGA Respect Meltdown. June 2015. US Open at Chambers Bay. Billy Horschel was about to launch the most public attack on golf's governing body in major championship history. The greens were controversial, patchy, bumpy, unpredictable. Players grumbled privately, but Horschel brought his frustration into the open during the final round. He slammed his putter into turf repeatedly, threw tantrums, and visibly mocked the surfaces after every missed putt. Cameras captured every dramatic reaction. Then came the quote that shocked the USGA. "I've lost all respect for this organization," he told reporters. A direct public attack on the people running golf's most prestigious tournament. He later apologized for his on-course behavior, but doubled down on criticizing the setup. Was he right about the conditions? Possibly. But turning the final round of a major into a one-man protest against the USGA crossed every line of professional conduct. Topic 15. The crowd becomes the enemy. May 2015, Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass. Sergio Garcia was about to face the most hostile crowd treatment in modern golf history. From the first round, fans were relentless, booing, heckling, mocking his accent. It went far beyond normal gallery interaction into personal attacks. During the three-man playoff with Ricky Fowler and Kevin Kisner, the crowd didn't just pick favorites, they picked a villain and made sure Garcia knew it. Some shouted insults during his backswing. Others mocked his Spanish heritage. The hostility was so intense it made television uncomfortable to watch. But the worst part came from the broadcast booth. NBC's Dan Hicks imitated Garcia's accent live on air, while another commentator made siesta jokes during the playoff. Garcia handled it with remarkable composure, later saying, "Some guys there don't deserve to be watching golf." The incident exposed how crowd behavior can cross from enthusiasm into outright harassment. If you're loving this video, subscribe now and help us hit 10,000 golf fans by month's end. Topic 16. The Caddy Confrontation. September 2023, Ryder Cup in Rome. Patrick Cantlay's caddy Joe LaCava was about to create one of the most disrespectful moments in team golf history. After Cantlay drained a massive 43-foot birdie on the final hole, LaCava started celebrating by waving his cap at the European crowd who had been heckling them all day. That part was understandable. Heated crowds and fired-up celebrations are part of Ryder Cup tradition. But then LaCava crossed the line. He walked across the green and stood directly in Rory McIlroy's putting line, while Rory still had a crucial putt to tie the match. When Rory politely asked him to move, LaCava refused and told him to relax with a smirk. The moment wasn't over, but LaCava acted like it was. Rory attempted the putt but missed, and the match slipped away. After the round, things boiled over in the parking lot where Rory had to be physically restrained while shouting at LaCava. If you liked our video, subscribe to our channel and help us reach the 10,000 mark by month's end. Thanks for watching.